Good evening. I'm going to be showing you one of the most common issues that I have run into with my JTS X12PT and how to fix it. So the issue is when you rack your shotgun, the trigger should be activated and it should be locked into battery, but as you can see, it is not. Normally, to have that happen once you lock it is to press this latch here, which releases the pump. However, there is a little spring in here that holds onto this latch here. It runs right across here, and that spring doesn't have a detent, it just comes off. So today we are going to reset that spring and hopefully it won't happen again. So we have some very common hand tools. If you own a shotgun, you most likely own this. I'm going to be using a power drill. However, you can use a regular screwdriver. This is just a Phillips head. We're going to take that, take off the 3 screws on the back of the buttstock here. The buttstock comes off. Then this is the one tool that most people probably don't have, is a long screwdriver. There's a screw on the back here. You have to reach all the way in here, take the screw out. What I did to get around that is I got a 1/4 inch socket, a hex bit, a Phillips hex bit. I put it in there, and then I take a couple 1/4 inch extensions, put them onto the socket, and I have an adapter for my gun here, so I'm going to use that. We're going to have to put that in there. Be careful not to drop that into, if this is the method you're going with, be careful not to drop your Phillips head screw or Phillips head bit into the gun. Now you might need to, if you want to take a look in there, you can see the screw all the way in there, and that's what you're reaching at. You want to take that out. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here and take that out, but that's what you're trying to get out. I will come back when I have that out. So we have gotten the screw out. Now, a very important thing, the screw is just sitting here. It's not held in by any sort of threads or lock or anything. So just be sure to hold it like this. When your screw comes out, it's going to be very hard to get it back in there without like a magnetic bit or a piece of tape or something. We're going to set that aside. Then we are going to disassemble this part of the shotgun. I probably should have done that with the stock on. Very simple. Actually, no, yeah, we do have to take that off. We're going to take off the cap here for the mag tube. Set that aside. We're going to take this little pusher and we're going to turn it. You can just do this with your finger and take it, turn it 90 degrees, and that comes out. After this, we are going to continue with taking out the barrel. What you do there is you just pull, the barrel comes out. Next, we're going to take out this pump. Very simple. We're going to, if you want to take a closer look, so you have to press the release here, and if you look in here, there is a little latch. Let me turn my light off. There's a little latch right here that you want to press. You press that in with your finger, and as you press in, you want to pull this out, and your pump just comes right out. Now you have your pump out. You can set this aside. You can set your pump aside. Now this could come apart. This comes apart on you. It's very simple to put it back together. This is just more or less what it looks like. Just ensure it goes back together just like that. We're going to set that aside. Then you're going to see 2 pins here, 1 and 2. You want to probably have something. I have a sprocket here. I'm going to use a sprocket. Why not? So that when you hit the pin, it can come out. You don't want to just damage your table or whatnot. You're going to take a punch like this. If you don't have a punch like this, you can use probably a 1/4 inch stock. No, that's a little too big. You can get some sort of rod, maybe a screw, a nail, something, cut it down. If you have a nice shotgun, of course, don't damage it, but I don't really care about this shotgun. We're going to take this punch. I didn't have much else. I have this hammer here. We're going to take this hammer and just punch out those 2 little pins. Doesn't take too much force to do that. We're going to go on this other side and take the pins out. With the pins out, your trigger group comes right out. You will see another bar is just going to fall out. That's that bar that holds in the pump. We're going to make sure to put that back in. For now, we're going to set it aside. And now I'm going to transition to another shot so you can see more or less what I'm doing. You can pause here. And now I have the trigger group out. This is exactly how it came out. I have a little bit of light here. As you can see, the trigger is bricked. It is not releasing the hammer here. And our pump release is not doing anything other than moving this little bar here. Now, as you can see, this spring here is supposed to go over this little arm. And however, since it has come off, it is blocking the arm from coming all the way down. Now that is blocked from coming down, which is lifting up this arm, which is bumping up against that piece of plastic there, which is disallowing our trigger to move. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this little spring and throw it up on there. And now you can see, I'm going to put my finger up here just so I can catch that hammer. Now that bar can move past the piece of plastic and actually fire. So what I've done in the past to try to keep that spring there is you can kind of see some residues of some JB steel stick, I think. I put it on there to try to hold that spring there. However, it didn't work. I'm just going to keep fixing it every time it breaks. It's not really a shotgun that I rely on, so I'm just going to go with that fix. It was pretty simple. You just take it apart, put that spring back in place, and now you can throw the shotgun back together. Now we're going to take the receiver here. We're going to take this bar that I said to set aside. You can see right in here there is a milled slot where this bar goes, and it goes right underneath that mag tube right there. So we're going to take this, slide it underneath that mag tube right there, and then try to line up this hole as much as possible. From here, you're going to take your trigger group and you're going to slide it in, of course, while holding this, because if you let go of it, it's just going to spring up. It's not going to allow you to set your trigger group in. Take that, push it in there best you can. There you go. Got it in. Then you're going to take your two pins that you removed earlier. You're going to slide them in about as much as you can. Normally that takes some doing, which is what I got the hammer right here for, but right then they just slid in. So that's the receiver part put together. Okay, now that we got that receiver put together, this also might be a good time if you want to clean your shotgun, but whatever really. We're going to take the pump assembly and the carrier group here. We're going to put that right there on the pump assembly. We're going to take our mag tube, slide it in. You'll see this is about where it wants to just stop. We're going to take our finger and put it on that tab we put our finger on earlier to release the pump, and we're going to press the detent here while we pull. Now that we've got it in, we're going to just assess function. It goes back, comes forward, that's good. We're going to throw the rest of the shotgun together now. We're going to take the barrel, slot it into here. We're going to take the follower for the rounds, throw that in here, slot that in, turn it. I'm going to take the cap, screw the cap on nice and tight. If the cap is loose, your barrel can move around. And now that the shotgun is mostly together, we don't need the stock on for this. We can check the function of it. We can hear that that trigger does drop and that it does lock. My dog does not like guns. So we can throw this back together now. And this entails taking the stock, taking the screw that's in there, running it back in, tightening that screw, taking the butt pad, putting that back on. But that concludes my video for today. Thank you for watching, if you watched it.